Hello and welcome back to All Things Defender. Have you ever had issues with trailer lights or caravan lights not flashing correctly or flashing on and off when they shouldn't be? If so, continue watching. I may have a solution. So here's the parts I've got. It's a TEB7AS and a TEC3M. And here's the cat. He always turns up. So do you think you're any good at electronics and electrics? I've also got 2 meters worth of 13 core cable to replace the 7 core cable that I installed the other day actually onto this new bracket here, socket even. That's the 13 pin, it was a 7 pin. Check the video up in the corner there if you haven't seen that, where I actually replaced the socket there with a new 13 pin socket. Today, because it doesn't work correctly, I'm going to install these 2 little bits of electronics. Hopefully that will make all the lights work. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just remove this socket, remove the wires from inside, and then remove the actual wire itself. Probably take it inside, rewire that socket up with the 13 cores of this big chunky wire, and then we can feed the wire back up through the vehicle to the rear lights and connect it up through the 2 little boxes. So there's all the wires we screwed in only a couple of weeks ago. Just going to disconnect all of those, remove this little socket here, then we can take that to a nice cozy bench inside and put the 13 wires on. And then, as I said, we can feed all the wire back through there and back up into the car. So I'm inside now. As you can see, I've just cut all the wires all the way back. I cut these 4 slightly shorter just to help me when I'm actually putting the wires in. As you can see, these 4 here slightly further forward than the rears, the 9 or 10 sockets at the back. So I've cut those slightly shorter. Just going to tin those now with a little bit of solder just to help them stay nice and contacted once they're in the socket. There we go, all nicely tinned up. So now just need to correlate each one of those colours to the socket. Each socket, as I did say in my previous video, does have a little number on it. I'll put up on the screen now a little chart that collates the colours to the socket. Quite easy, just put them in. I'm going to start with the middle 4 first, I think, and then work around the outside. So starting with number 1, see there, just there, very small number 1. That's the first one I'll do, that's the yellow one. And number 2, 3, 4, quite difficult to see, but they are on there. So just make sure you do get the right colours, again, corresponding with the chart, and then there shouldn't be any issues. Just spotted a small mistake. Be careful, there's a red, which is that little one there. There's also a red and white one, which is that one there, which I've actually put in the wrong one. There we go, look, on the back of it, there's a little white stripe, so be careful. I'm sure that would have caused a little bang and a bit of a smoke. So it looks like we prevented that. The red one there is to go in there, number 6. And the red and white one, number 13. What a number. I prevented smoke. Well, I say I prevented smoke. We haven't plugged it in yet. I think I'll go through and check them all now. Once they're all in, I shall check them against the chart. Obviously the chart I showed earlier, I'll just pop it back on the screen again now, so you can take a screenshot if you like, if you're doing the same job, or just Google it. I Googled it, it came straight up. But if you can't find it, there it is, it's on the screen now. So there's the finished rocket, quite proud of that myself, it looks fairly neat. I have just checked it again, each colour against each number on the chart. Recommend doing that, don't want any mistakes. It is electric after all. So now I'm back at the truck. I've wired up all the socket as you've just seen. That's the old 7-pin. Obviously there's 12 core, well 13 pin. It's actually 12 core, so there's 12 wires in there, 7 of which are the same as those there. So they need to be reconnected to the original lights that are in the truck. So if you follow this wire back, it goes all the way back over, comes out just down here. This one here, we've bullet connected them into each of the lights. So what I'm going to do is get the little magic box that's going to turn it into a 13-pin box, put a little connector on the end, pull one of these out at a time and reconnect them. I'll show you that now, and against the chart. I'll put the chart on the screen. It looks quite a mess, but I'll highlight exactly which wires I'm actually doing. This is the little box. It is a TEB7AS, and that's got all the relays in to take the signal from the lights from the vehicle across to the caravan or trailer, whichever you're doing. So the first thing to do is all these wires here, they need to be connected up to the corresponding wires as per the old one there. So you can see the colours there, they match these colours here on the actual box. So all I'm going to do is put a little bullet connector on, unconnect one at a time from those in there and reconnect them. Then when that's done, we can connect the new wiring loom that I just put with a socket on into these here. It's all as per the chart, which I have put up on the screen already. I'll just do that again now and show you exactly which wires that I intend to connect. There we go, so each of the coloured wires now on this little box, I've now put connectors on. So I just need to go through each one of the wires in here one by one, take them out and plug the corresponding colour in. And there they all are. It's quite difficult to see, but they're all out, so I can feed that old wire back through now and pull that out. There is one wire that isn't linked, which is that one, which is a grey one, which is the reverse light. In case now, I've just pulling the old wire out. It was just cable tied on. Just pulled it out. There we go. There's the old wire. We need to feed the new wire back in. And look, he's back again. He's always back. He thinks he knows best. Do you know how to do electrics? So that's the new cable. I just fed it underneath the car and back out through the hole from the previous one. Now you strip the wires back off here and connect it to this box and eventually the other little box, which converts it to a 13-pin, but I'll show you that in a minute. So there we go, all the wires are stripped back. I've done it about 5-6 inches, give me lots of space because obviously I've got to wire that box in and the other little box, so I need lots of space to manipulate the wires. So what I'm going to do now, wires 1 to 7, eagle-eyed of you have noticed that number 3 is missing. That is the earth on the actual big cable that's coming there, so that'll go directly to earth. So numbers 1 to 7 of these, collating again with the colour chart that I'll put back on the screen now and highlight which ones I'm doing, connect to 1 to 7. The reverse is the pink one on this wire, not the grey as it comes out, so slightly confusing. So the reverse is pink going into the box but grey coming out of the box. So don't get confused with that one as well. There we go, they're all wired in. Each of the colours which correspond to the chart, which we've been showing all the way along. I shall just pop it up again, just to be sure that you've got all the right colours in the right spaces. Again, remembering number 3 is missed out. The next part is this little box here, which is the 13-pin part of the socket. There's only pretty much 2 wires to connect. These two, the orange one, which goes to number 4 on there, and the grey one, which goes to number 6 on there. Again, I'll show you which one's on the chart so we don't make any mistakes. The only 3 other wires left from this 12 core 13-pin wire are these, the white one, the black and white, and the red and white. They are all to go to earth, so I shall put a little round connector on those and just earth those straight to the chassis. So that's the 3 earths ready to connect to the car. There's also one more earth lead which I'm going to have to make up, one from the 0 point there, which I shall just put another tag on and combine with those 3 there. They'll all connect to the earth, and then there's one more part left to do, which is the positive feed, the 12 volts, which goes to that point there, and then one at the rear of this there. So a 12 volt directly straight to the battery. So I'll have to get a nice long wire, connect that to the battery, obviously fuse that, so I shall do that next. There's one wire that I had forgot to wire up. It's the reverse one which I spoke about, the grey one on the outlet side of this here, the grey one which I didn't plug in, which I now have done. I've connected a little bullet connector, a wire all the way underneath the car to the reverse light, which is this side here. So just a little bit of effort required to get the wire across to this light here to pick up the reverse light. That's all done now, so we can crack on with the rest. So I've just added the last earth lead from the TEC3M, which is this little white one around there. It's gone around in there, and they're all the earth leads. There's 4 of them, funny enough. They all need earth in, which I shall do later. The last thing to do now is the 12 volt, which is going to go through these 2 fuses here, but all the way to the front of the vehicle with a long piece of wire. So difficult now, I've got to get all the way to the front of the vehicle, to the back with a piece of wire. So I'll start the front and try and feed it all the way through. Right, that took a little bit of finding out which way to go, but I've now found a route to the back of the car. There's the battery obviously, there's the wires just loosely wound on that at the moment, they're just nice and loose, lots of flex on them. I've gone out the back of the battery box there, and then there's a convenient hole in the back there. So I've got under the car, up through the battery box, and I've just hidden the wires along the back of the bulkhead there, as you can see, all the way along to there. There's another little hole there, convenient hole. So I've gone to the back of the pickup truck, out that hole there. So it's all hidden nicely. I've duct taped it out of the way, probably an electrician's nightmare, but there we go, that's how it's going to be. One day I'm planning to take this bulkhead out anyway and put one of those strengthening bars in so I can get some nice big reclining seats in. So that'll all change anyway at a later date. That's where the wires come out the back. As you can see, that's the front cab. Just a little hole there. She'll take it up again, probably along this little seam here, all the way along, and then I'll tuck it behind that bit of wood all the way back to where we need to get the little boxes. So I'll do that now and I'll show you when I've done it. There's the red wires from the battery. They've come up here to the 2 fuses, then round. I've just taped them up into the loom there. One to that positive and one to the positive over the back there. So I'm just going to tidy it all up then now, connect the front battery up, and then mount those probably on a little plinth or something and just screw them to the back of the bulkhead there. There we go, all complete, all on a little wooden board there. As you can see, the earth strap I've just strapped to the back of the truck there, just on the rear, just for the little bolt there, so that's nicely earthed. So if you've enjoyed that, I did do a changing the 7-pin to the 13-pin video. I'll put that up there, so if you want to go and watch that one, feel free. Otherwise, please like, subscribe and all that good stuff for me, and I shall see you on the next one.